Shane Van Gisbergen with the weekend sweep back where it all started for him at the Chicago Street Course. You got to give credit to him, right as the conversations were popping up. Oh, what if we get more than 16 winners? He might get bumped out. He goes ahead and wins his second NASCAR Cup Series race of the season. Also got to give kudos to Justin Marks. This whole thing kind of relied on SVG winning races and making his way into the playoffs. That 88 charter is going to get a good payout this season. With that, it is the second week in a row that SVG was the top car for Trackhouse Racing. He is now just one race behind teammate Daniel Suarez, who finished down in 29th. Ross Chastain making a top 10 run after getting sideways there on one of the final restarts, getting kind of saved by the tire barrier. He is up 10-5 on Suarez. After going the first 17 races of the season without a top car honor, Ty Gibbs going back-to-back, his second on the season with a second place run here at Chicago. Denny Hamlin also getting inside of the top 5. Him and Chase Briscoe are tied at 5, 2 races behind Christopher Bell, who finished down in 24th position, 1 spot shy of Chase Briscoe. Moving on to 2311, Tyler Reddick up top here again with his third place run, his 10th top car honor of the season. Bubba Wallace was going to give him some competition inside the top 10. He got spun out battling with Alex Bowman. He finished down in 28th, and Riley Herbst back to 17th after starting his Cup Series season off with a few of those. A big recovery run for Kyle Busch, getting inside the top 5 after spinning out pretty much halfway through this one. His 11th top car honor of the season. He is now 3 races up on Austin Dillon in the 3 car, who finished in 36th position. 8 car needed a good run, and they got that this weekend. Need to carry that momentum on to Sonoma. Another guy who needed a good run, AJ Allmendinger, breaking the tie with Ty Dillon, his 6th place run. Ty Dillon finishing in 20th, about where he's been running this season, so pretty decent day for both colleague racing cars. AJ Allmendinger now 15th in points. Of course, there are a few winners below 16th. Very good season so far for this 16 car. Glad that they have gone with a consistent driver all throughout the season. Glad that's the plan going forward next year as well. Didn't really make much sense to go back and forth between Allmendinger and then filling the seat with a bunch of random guys. That 16 car is in the conversation for a playoff spot. Ryan Preece on top again for the first time in a little bit at RFK with his 7th place run. Chris Buescher finishing in 17th, but he has 11 top car honors of the season. And there was an early crash, so of course Brad Keselowski was caught up in it. He finished down in 37th position. It finally happened, folks. Alex Bowman getting on the board at Hendrick Motorsports in the top car battle. His 8th place run, his first time getting that honor this season. Only Hendrick car in the top 10 today. Kyle Larson in 13th, and William Byron down in 40th position. Larson leads this battle. He is 2 up on William Byron, who is 2 up on Chase Elliott. After a huge late race charge after getting the free pass on the second to last caution, Ryan Blaney getting 1 spot shy of Joey Logano, who is the top car at Team Penske with his 11th place run. Now just 1 race behind Ryan Blaney for the Team Penske honors. They are both quite a ways ahead of Austin Cindric, only 2 top car honors of the season for the 2 car. He finished down in 27th position. Zane Smith pulling himself away from this Front Row Motorsports teammate battle that was pretty close a few weeks ago. He is up to 9 on the season. His 2 teammates tied at 5. Noah Gragson finished in 30th, and Todd Gilliland down in 38th spot. John Nemechek finishing 10 spots ahead of Eric Jones this week, 15th versus 25. He is now up 11-8 in the Legacy Motor Club teammate battle. Great battle here, both drivers swapping it back week after week. This will be a fun one to watch throughout the finish of the season. Justin Haley, the top Spire car this week, his 6th of the season. He is now tied with Carson Hocevar, and they are both just 1 race back on Mike McDowell, so this Spire battle really heating up. McDowell down in 32nd position after leading a lot of laps early in this one. Hocevar in 35th after starting that big pile-up early in the race. And it wasn't just Alex Bowman getting himself on the board this week. Cody Ware, the only other driver who did not have a point in the top car honors, getting on the board here for the single car teams. And this 26th place was not where he was running. He was in the teens there towards the end of the race. Unfortunately, on the last restart, had an issue and had to retire from the race. So technically was DNF'd in this one, but finished in 26th. He was ahead of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 31st, 33rd Cole Custer, and 34th Josh Berry. Josh Berry 1 behind Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who has lead in this category, 8-7-3. With Shane Van Gisbergen sweep this weekend, we also had a Chevrolet sweep. Chevrolet now up 32-15 on Toyota for the winning manufacturer's honor. They are both quite a ways ahead of Ford, who's only at 7 on the season. Chevrolet now leading in the Cup Series as well as the Xfinity Series, and tied with Toyota in the Truck Series. Looking back at the Gen 7 winners here in Chicago, and this race of course only starting in 2023, so we only have 2 years of data. Shane Van Gisbergen winning this race in 2023. He only made 2 starts that season, one of them being a win, both of them being in the top 10 though. And then Alex Bowman won this race last year. Pretty decent year, 8 top 5s and 17 top 10s, but had a round of 12 exit. Hopefully SVG can get out of the first round, that'd be really cool, doing what Bowman did last season. For the first time since Texas of 2018, that was not a Daytona 500, we had a DNQ this weekend. It was Corey Heim, surprisingly after taking damage on his qualifying lap, bending a toe link and didn't really have a chance after that. Still impressive though for Catherine Legg to make her way into this race. She had a very strong run finishing 19th, but she was not the top uncharted car. Austin Hill getting inside of the top 5 with a 9th place run. Great run for that 33 program. Josh Bilicki also getting a pretty decent run here in 21st position. Huge run for Garage 66/MBM Motorsports. Will Brown was the 4th uncharted car, unfortunately taking damage in that early pileup. He finished in 39th. Moving to our pole winners now, Shane Van Gisbergen joining William Byron and Alex Bowman as 2-time pole winners this season. SVG winning the pole and the race in both series this weekend, the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, which was pretty cool. 13 pole winners through 19 races. Moving to stage winners on the season, Michael McDowell adding himself to this list. He was the 15th stage winner through 19 races. Ryan Blaney separating himself from teammate Austin Cindric and Joey Logano with his 4th stage win of the season, tying Denny Hamlin for 3rd on the series. Kyle Larson, of course, leading this category with 8. And into the stage points, top 10, a little bit of movement in the top 5. Reddick and Hamlin both jumping Kyle Larson. Larson has not really been a stage pointer the last few weeks. A little bit of a summer slump going on for that 5 car. I'm sure he'll recover before the playoffs though. Elliott, Wallace, and Bowman all earning a couple points there and moving up a little bit. Christopher Bell adding 1 to be in 10th position. Into our laps led top 5, Ryan Blaney leading the last 3 laps of stage 2. He was the only driver on this list to lead any laps today. Michael McDowell leading the most laps in this one. Of course, he did not finish, so no real movement in the laps led top 5. With Bubba Wallace and Alex Bowman tangling towards the end of this one, it has really opened up the bubble battle, at least for Ryan Preece. He is now just 2 points behind Bubba Wallace for the final playoff position, but still huge separation to 18th and beyond. Allmendinger minus 43, Busch minus 46, and Eric Jones minus 50. These are the only 4 positions that are still available for points. If we get any more winners, we're going to be down to only 3. Reddick adding his 2nd Xfinity fastest lap point of the season, joining AJ Allmendinger and William Byron as drivers who have done that twice. 9 different drivers through 19 races, 3 of them belonging to 2311. 2311 owner Denny Hamlin at the top of this list, 4 Xfinity fastest lap points this season. Our rookie of the race, pretty easy this week, of course, SVG winning this one. Good run for Riley Herbst though, 17th place, you got to give him credit for that, especially with the beat up nose that he had in this one. But SVG starting to pull away, and we're going to Sonoma next week. So another race that he could pull ahead of Riley Herbst and put a real gap between the 2 drivers. Still going to be interesting to watch this as we're getting through most of the road courses here. SVG could definitely fall behind to Herbst on some of the intermediates. We'll have to see what happens. 11-8 to lead for SVG at this point. Our biggest points mover, Ty Gibbs, moving up 5 positions from 24th to 19th. Still a bit far to consider him a part of the bubble battle, but, with a couple more good runs, he could definitely get himself into that conversation. They've really turned it around the last few weeks. Tonight's biggest loser, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. dropping 4 positions in points from 21st to 25th. A guy who was just on our graphic for the bubble battle, slowly falling out of contention here, which really sucks for that single car operation. You always want to see those teams doing good. I should mention Shane Van Gisbergen also moving up 5 positions in points. He moved up from 32nd to 27th with his victory. To our DNF list, Brad Keselowski rejoining Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney is tied for the lead with 6 DNFs through 19 races. He is joined by Daniel Suarez in the 99 car. Of course, it was just recently announced he will not be returning to that ride next year. Carson Hocevar, Josh Berry, and Cody Ware all adding DNFs in this one, moving themselves up to 5 DNFs on the season. Hamlin and Noah Gragson, as well as Cole Custer, all with 4 DNFs on the year. And this list keeps expanding, 17 drivers through 19 races getting the Brock Beard last car standings honor. Byron with his first last place finish of the year. Came on a road course, of course, that wasn't really his fault, getting tangled up in that early incident. Going to be interesting to see how high this number can get. Hopefully it can get into like the mid-20s. I think 25 drivers would be pretty cool. I'm sure we'll see some repeats as the season goes on, but hey, we're over halfway through, and we're still getting new drivers most weeks. I'll have more on the in-season tournament in its own dedicated video going up on the channel in a few days. Thanks for watching.